Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 839 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Maldo, and joining me again today in pretend low Earth orbit, we have Chris DeBona.
Hey.
Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
All right, we've completed the complaining part that we do off stream, where we discuss our life trials.
It's just a good friend of mine calls it organ talk.
Organ talk.
Yeah. So when old people get together, they're like, how's your heart? How's your kidneys? You know, that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, it's organ talk, and then also what in your home has catastrophically broken and will require a huge expensive repair.
Yeah.
That's getting old. Your body and your house are failing.
How's
right.
it feel to be you? Yeah.
Yay. All right. So we've got Nicolas Cage is apparently getting a live action spider noir TV show on Amazon Prime.
Ooh.
I mean, Prime's been kicking it out of the park, but live action?
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
right. Live action.
Okay.
I mean, I'm all in on the Nick Cage. Like,
it's from MGM though, not Sony, and not. Wait, how's that work? Sony must be making it, right? Because
they'd have to have the rights.
Rights to this one. I got Lord and Miller, so it's got to be Sony. Yeah, Sony.
Yep.
Here we go. See, Sony.
Yeah. Amy Pascal.
So it could be as good as Venom. Oh wait.
Oh.
Could be as good as Madam Web.
Madam Web. Don't forget the upcoming
as
the often delayed Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, it could be as yeah.
Yeah, it could be Kraven level goodness.
Yeah. Or could be Homecoming. Could be Far From Home. Could be Home Alone. It could be any of the Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it'll probably be Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yep.
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Nick Cage can't save Morbius.
Yep.
Did he voiced the comic one?
He voiced it in the movie, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. Good for him.
Miller and Lord are talented filmmakers. They didn't make Morbius, right? Right.
Well, I would hope that this is the situation where they have the filmmaking control to say, hey, guys, maybe we
won't make garbage today.
Don't do the dumb thing. Like, because Sony just, as far as I can tell, Sony just has to make a crappy Spider-Man movie once a year to retain their ownership of the character.
Is it just once a year? Oh, that's really tight.
I don't know what the schedule is, but there's been 2 terrible Spider-Mans. There's been 2 terrible Venoms. There's been a Morbius, a Madam Web.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of spunk. That's what they call it, right? The spunk, like the Sony Spider-Man universe.
Cinematic.
There's an acronym they call it.
Does it have to say it doesn't sound good. It sounds kind of gross.
All right, we have to look it up. Sony Spider-Man.
Skabunky. Yeah. No, and you know what spunk means in other countries, right? Yeah.
See, now they just call it the SSU on Wikipedia, but they got a name for it. They call it the spunk.
In fact, I heard that's why they closed down the portal. Too much
spunk.
Yeah.
So
people were holding up their phones, showing porn to the other side. They were signs and flashing it.
Well, did you see the picture of the lady with the boobs pulling up her shirt?
Yeah, doing drugs in front of it.
Apparently, that lady is renowned. Like, she's the lady who was.
She's the Flasher.
She's been in there's been several viral incidents.
In the Sony Cinematic Universe. Yep.
She's part of Spunk.
Spunk.
She's going to be in the next Justice League.
Yeah.
Since Flash is problematic.
That's right. Mm-hmm. She's the new Flash. Dun.
Flasher.
The Flasher. So, but the thing is, it's okay.
And here's the Silver Streaker.
She flashes so fast that it's faster than 24 frames per second. So you don't actually ever see anything.
Did they really limit this to 24 frames per second? That's why they shut the portal down. Insufficient visual fidelity.
Yeah.
That's
not enough bandwidth.
Yeah, all the Irish people are like, why can't we see the nipple on the Flash girl?
Is that your Irish accent?
Yeah, totally. I mean, they have a lot of kebab shops, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of funny stories about this, but apparently there are other portals connecting other cities, and they've never had any problem. So this is just uniquely a New York problem.
New York Dublin problem. I don't know if that's true. I think that if you go and look at, say, is there a Greek Turkey portal? Are they trying to bring countries together that hate each other? You know, there's lots of, I'm sure there's, yeah, like they should do a Gaza, Israel, you know, Tel Aviv
Yeah.
portal. That'd be great.
A Morlock and an Eloy portal.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. You know,
I don't know. When we were growing up, it could have been
Morlocks
like
ain't so bad.
the north side of the bridge and the south side of the bridge in Holland.
Ooh, no.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Southsiders, man, you can't trust them.
No, that's like
No.
Or Northsiders. Wait, which one was the Morlock in this analogy? I didn't grow up in hope.
Bates was a
We're-
south sider.
I grew up with no hope.
I guess we were probably Morlocks, right, on the north
Oh,
side.
for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
and Bates of the Bates, the scion of the Bates fortune,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heir to the throne.
heir to the throne of Bates,
That's right. All right, we've got
and yet he couldn't save the videotapes.
No.
You know,
like
It's
300 of them, and they were all on VHS.
they're actually the beta supercam,
Betacam.
SP.
Yeah. Those were hard to edit back in the day. We didn't have OBS.
Well, you know, they only lasted like 30 minutes, and you didn't want to give up the quality. You know.
Yeah, no, you didn't run on super extended delayed release.
Yeah, I don't want to get all Alex and technology connections on you though. So let's,
I love that
keep
guy.
moving. He's awesome. He's really nice in person too.
Is he?
Yeah, he's going to be at Open Sauce again this year. So,
That dude has my mad respect. I will watch pretty much anything that he puts up.
yeah, indeed.
Remind me to tell you something about him when we're off.
I will.
So Supergirl is getting a 2026.
Supergirl first.
That was the next one that I had on my list.
There, Supergirl.
Supergirl. Oh, that's a screenshot for us. Everybody smile for the camera, because if you put the pretty girl in the thumbnail, that's supposed to be good for the thumbnails.
Yeah, engagement.
Yeah, engagement.
Yeah.
Remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Tell your friends, share and enjoy. Miley Alcox, I think her name is
Millie Alcock.
from the House of the Dragon, and she was
The House of the Game of the Thrones.
she was
of the Dragon.
great in that show. She was so good in that show.
She was actually quite good.
She was so good in that show that halfway through the season, when they do the time skip, and you're like, and now she's not there. You're like, well, now I don't like this new actress, even though the new actress was great, but like she was so charismatic. Like, oh, that's star charisma. She going places. But she's gonna apparently show up in the Superman movie that's gonna come out next summer, and then get her solo movie in 2026.
So I have a question. What is the Superman?
The Superman came from a planet called Krypton.
Is he part of the Sony?
Yeah, he's Spunk.
Spunk. Spunky. Is he spunky?
Yep, he's spunky. He's a guy that I haven't heard of his name. Like, I don't know his name. Which is probably for the best for a character like that. I don't think anybody had really heard of Henry Cavill when he got the gig.
Henry Carville.
Henry Cavill.
He's secretly the child of the
James.
Republican
James
and
Carville, the
Democratic
political guy?
operatives. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
The unholy spawn.
The holy spawn of those two demons.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we've been destroying America systematically in the media for decades. It's cool, right?
Well, it's not going to destroy itself.
That's
the one
true.
thing, yeah.
That's true.
All right, let's keep going.
Yep. So we got the smart intersections story. This is actually a funny one, just because there's apparently different protocols in place for cars for dealing with intersections. And I was thinking a lot about this because there's apparently, you can basically do denial of service attacks off of these things. And researchers have been doing this. And this kind of cracks me up, because all of the problems that they were describing are like, oh, this is just the internet in like 1998. Like as we went through like a decade of trying to go from being a research, like good in theory kind of thing, into like the actual practical application with bad actors trying to mess with it. And it took a really long time to even solve like really obvious problems. And this looks like these are really obvious problems that they didn't test. They didn't think about. And I mean, I'm sure they thought about it, but you don't have to actually solve for that until you actually have the attacks in the field. So anyway, that story just cracks me up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have a demo near the campus not far from y'all.
Oh yeah, U of M.
On Earth.
Trying to figure out where that intersection is.
Yeah. So, as usual, one jerk ruins it for all of us.
That's
You know?
true.
Well, it's funny because they talk about the system as being deployed in a bunch of cities, and I'm like, it probably plugs into the bus of the normal control boards and ties into the system that way, you know, or it's able to be centrally monitored. Because in Palo Alto, they would often talk about how expensive stoplights were. $1 million per intersection, or $500,000 or $250,000 per light, and it's like, geez, you guys, you talk a lot.
Just get a candle.
Yeah. So there weren't actually a lot of streetlights.
Yeah, you just hang a middle schooler up there with a flashlight.
Yeah, exactly.
You pay him $4.25 an hour.
Yeah.
All right, we've got the first trailer for Dune Prophecy. And that's actually,
I didn't even know this was coming.
Yeah, it used to have a different name. It used to be like Dune Sisterhood or something, but it's the Bene Gesserit story.
Jesuit, is that the Sony version of Dune?
The spunk version.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10,000 years before Atreides, and it's the starting.
Is this before the Butlerian Jihad, or
this is like supposed to be when they're starting up the breeding program?
Oh, yeah.
You don't need
basically retelling of Methuselah's children.
You don't need to change the size of the window, Chris.
Yeah, right. Sorry, I didn't mean to screw it up.
There you go. There you go.
Is that better? Here, actually, I've got it saved in Fancy Zones.
There you go. There you go.
Now it's perfect.
Yeah, now it doesn't have like one pixel of silhouette around the edge of my frame.
I would hate to do that to you.
Well, if Ambala was watching right now, he would be very disappointed about that pixel.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's a prequel story, and it's got Mark Strong as the Emperor.
I love Mark Strong.
He's
too.
Awesome. I do too. And it's got like
I even liked him in Shazam.
Did you guys know this was coming?
Yeah, I did.
This is the first I've heard about it.
It's got Denis is like a producer on it, I think, but I don't think he's like hugely involved. But the production design very much looks influenced by the films. It is. I was thinking about this too, because this is coming out, and then also like in the next few weeks, Star Wars Acolyte is coming out, and it's just interesting that like two of our biggest sci-fi properties are both releasing not just prequels, but like thousands of years in the past prequels.
Well, it worked for House of Dragons. They pulled Game of Thrones out of the fire and said, no, I bet you we can make you watch it again, and they did. It worked.
They did.
Well, and now they're like, well, if they liked the movies, they liked the Bene Gesserit 10,000 years ago. It's like, yeah, but will we? I mean,
and now all of our characters are Supergirls.
Yeah. Darn Sony.
Well, I'm hoping that this is good. I'll certainly watch the first. Yeah, me too. I'll certainly watch the first couple of episodes. Heck, this is probably a show where I'll watch it all, even if it's bad.
Remind me to tell you a thing after we're done broadcasting.
All right. So there was a bug in iOS 17.5 where apparently deleted photos and a lot of actually just in general deleted stuff, like deleted from like years ago, is showing back up on people's phones. And there was a bunch of people who were saying like nudes that they had deleted years ago from their own photo libraries were coming back. And that's probably not what you want for the nudes you deleted from your phone.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, I've never put nudes on my phone or taken nudes.
Would you like some?
Would
you like me to send you some?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
No.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
No means no, Malda.
Hold on.
That's a top tier prize for our Patreon.
Listen, if I wanted nudes, I just go to the portal, okay?
If you you sign up and you give us $20, or Rob sends you his nudes.
I'm not saying they're not necessarily of
they're not Rob, but yeah.
Or I can just draw them very crudely.
Yeah, Dune. All right. What's next? Resurrects nudes. Dune.
Australia's richest woman. So we just need to share this photo because it would be sad if Australia, the portrait.
Oh my God! I thought the little monkey Jesus, the lady who fixed that mural in Spain. Yeah. You all remember that story?
Yeah, of course.
I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Yep.
Who the hell drew was it an enemy? Is it someone who doesn't like her?
It's her style.
I think it was a no talent ass clown. doing the photos, the
Oh
pictures.
my
It's apparently a very famous Aboriginal artist. And
They got Reckless Kelly in here, though. I mean, that's all right, you know. They got. Let's see who else. I don't know many of these people.
yeah, these are Australian people. I guess maybe not so much Elizabeth, but yeah.
And here's Charles. Yeah.
So I just think
Chuck
that's
Berry.
great. Like this is the
Captain
most
Cook.
this is the most Streisand effect story that we'll see for a
Is
while.
that the guy from AC/DC? That's the guy from AC/DC.
Is
It
it?
is. It's Angus Young.
Angus.
I mean, I don't know. There's worse pictures. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, and in the context of all of these portraits, it's not a big deal.
No, when you see how shitty they all are,
Yeah.
you realize that
That's just the style.
That's style.
Yeah. So that's just great. But yep, so she's Australia's richest woman, and she demanded that the museum
she's not
remove
very
it.
popular.
Oh no,
she's like known to be like a pretty horrible person.
Oh.
She's one of the big like coal, uranium, you know, extractive industries.
Yeah, it's a mining
inheritors,
a mining heiress or something.
Yeah, and she's sort of famous. She's like their Koch brothers mixed up with their monsters, all added into one or something.
That's pretty great.
She's deeply unpopular as well.
Well, and now I'm really hoping, and I don't know that if we're culturally capable of doing that, but like Rob, you mentioned the Jesus portrait that woman ruined. That became memes for like years. You would see memes show up with that photo, and I'm really looking forward. I'm hoping that the internet still has like we might have goldfish level memory, but I'd really like it if like that started becoming like meme fodder for a while. Just see that.
I don't know if that's going to happen with this one. It doesn't have the vuv, you know, that the original one had.
I don't know.
Where it was someone they're making an honest go of it. It was just awful.
I bet in Australia
everything he does is awful. So what did you expect?
I bet in Australia though this is going to play. Yeah,
but Australia, it's kind of a small country, you know. It doesn't, and their pipe to the internet's not as great. You know, so
they don't have enough bandwidth. They don't have enough bandwidth to get memes out.
Yeah, they're not starting on third plate when it comes to meme generation.
They can only get text out.
Their meme game is bullshit over there. I hate to say it.
That's still BBS era.
I mean, you know, they had a peak with Crocodile Dundee and Men at Work.
Yeah,
and it was just all downhill from there.
Yeah, they squandered their lead.
They squandered their lead.
We go there and film our Marvel movies,
and they lost it.
We go there and film our Marvel movies, and then we take the movies with us on videotapes.
We film in New Zealand. We don't even film in Australia.
Oh man, that's harsh.
Yeah, I mean,
speaking of filming, Sandler, the Sandman, has confirmed that maybe the last movie to not be rebooted is Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's an unfortunate thing.
That's going to be a thing that I'm going to totally watch.
Totes.
We went through maybe a year ago and rewatched with one of my kids the oeuvre of Adam Sandler.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I didn't respect the Sandman that much the first time through. I found him to be a little bit slight. But in the second watching, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed many of those films just fine. He's a completely likable goofball.
I'm not super into Happy Gilmore, but I did like Billy Madison and The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, those are both good.
Yeah. I mean, I worry that, Happy Gilmore in some ways is a perfect movie. You know, it doesn't need a sequel.
Most of them don't.
Let it be perfect.
Yeah, there weren't any unanswered questions.
Yeah, there was nothing left.
Yeah.
They didn't end on a cliffhanger.
Nope.
You know?
Rob, you shared the one about the man who turned his dead dad into a chatbot. That's cool, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It is kind of interesting. They found out he was dying, so they just spent hours and hours and hours of interviews, which he fed into his bot, and now you can go and ask the bot any question about his dad's life, and it speaks in his dad's voice.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not creepy at all.
Nope, not a bit.
Yeah, this is actually we've been talking about this, last
Yeah.
week or last time, with the Chinese one and all the rest. I mean, I admit I'm okay with my kids moving on after I kick it. I don't want them to overly obsess on me. Or I'm sure Christine feels the same way. It's like, I want them to enjoy their rich present,
Right.
and not get too wrapped up in the past. And I'm like, if I were a worse father, that'd probably be more likely. I'm trying to balance being a good dad versus being a bad dad so that they can move on, healthfully. Right.
I got to tell you, I don't spend a lot of time worrying about
being too good of a dad.
The artificial intelligent version of me and what influence that will have on my children's lives. Like that shouldn't exist for a number of reasons. I'm not that great, like the first time around.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm definitely not going to be better with like AI Uncanny Valley spooky added to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any kids, but if I do have an AI me after I pass, I hope it's a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. This is episode 839. Let's mark it. If I outlive you, I'll see about making the jerk version of your AI. We'll just feed it
just a dick.
We'll feed it transcripts of all the episodes of Geeks in Space. Right. Maybe feed in some boat night joke notes.
For sure, yeah. Anything mean I've ever said, get that shit in there.
Get that. All right.
Racist, make it extra racist.
Well, maybe not that.
That's not necessary.
Are you sure? I mean,
Rob's a jerk, but he's not racist.
Yeah, come on, Chris.
I'm just saying this could be your chance, to.
You're saying you hate Dutch people.
And pull, in the Sony Cinematic Universe version of you could be like the racist Kraven the Hunter, or the live action.
But I'd be named after a lot of
guy.
I'd be named after a lot of Marvel characters, so I'd have to be Rude Rob. You know how the double
RR.
letter.
You got to have RR.
Alliterations.
Rude Rob or
right. We have
Red
one more story on the list.
Rob Robin.
But since we're talking about Marvel, I just wanted to note, and I didn't share this, but Natasha Lyonne is cast in the Fantastic Four, and they have not.
She's a thing.
Wouldn't that be great? I assume she's Alicia.
No, they're using Eben for that, man.
I assumed she's Alicia. Yeah. But who the heck knows? And then they also announced some other actor who I don't know his name, but you've seen him in a million things, and everybody thinks he's going to be Mole Man. So
I like Mole Man.
Yeah, but if that's
maybe
true,
Natasha is the Fantastic Car.
Everybody
John
goes
Malkovich.
for a ride.
John Malkovich, isn't it too?
They got a plethora of riches, man.
I would love to see
Malkovich
as Galactus. Malkovich as Galactus would be so good. Just a quirky, weird Galactus shows up in your planet.
Well, I mean, so they have a lot of actors I really, really like.
I know.
And it's not going to work. It's just not going to work.
It's going to work for 7 minutes, and then Mr. Fantastic's going to go out with stretchy arms, and Chris is going to be like, nope, and walk out of the theater.
I'm out. Yeah. So
I'm going to turn my hand into a giant fly swatter and knock you off the building.
Mm-hmm.
My power.
Yep. They didn't even bother really doing much of that with Miss Marvel, and that's her deal too.
Yeah.
They barely used it. All right, we've got Tokyo battling raccoons.
Oh, this is a great story, actually. There was actually a really great YouTube video about the importation of raccoons. It was from Lost in the Pond. I'll find it.
Yeah, I guess it became a fad there. There was some popular anime where the lead character was a raccoon, so everyone bought raccoons.
Oh, great!
Like as pets.
Yeah, and it turns out raccoons are kind of shitty. There's a reason we haven't domesticated them yet.
Yep.
So people are just tossing them out. They have a gigantic wild population now.
Yeah, I'll paste it in the channel. There you go. Let's talk about American raccoons. There you go. Yeah, but they ended up being used as war animals,
Jesus.
so they would drop them into Germany and the rest, so they would cause problems and eat food, yeah. Because it turns out the whole trash pandas do reproduce,
We have a lot of raccoons. Trouble. We have a lot of raccoons around here. They're really cute, but they're also
I don't think they're that cute. They're kind of obnoxious to the other pets, and
Oh, they're
eat
they're
food
shitty,
and-
but they're cute
when they're small.
when they're small.
When they're
that's true.
small, they're adorable. Yeah.
We had one that every day would walk around our house, like all the way around our house, and like we're knowing that he's casing the joint.
Yeah.
He just wants in.
Okay, I admit. Let me open this up. I'm gonna mention a new tab. I got to give the Japanese credit. This is kind of a cute raccoon. I kind of dig Rascal the raccoon.
All right.
You know? Look at this guy. He's adorable.
Did you ever see what's it called, Panpoko Tanuki?
No.
It's a kind of classic 80s anime raccoon thing. And Tanukis are famous for having big balls. So it's good fun.
How does all of our discussions end up talking about balls? I mean, at some point, Rob, I think it's okay to acknowledge that this is your thing.
Balls?
Okay.
I have two
balls,
of them.
balls. It's always balls with you.
I mean, we did talk about Happy Gilmore.
It's funny. I Google image search for Panpoko Tanuki, and there's a not safe for work blurred one. And I'm
Yeah.
like, nope. Gonna go back to the old broadcast. Here we go.
Back to the other tab.
Yeah.
Feeling safer.
Wrong tab.
Out. All right. Any media worth watching?
I plan on watching Godzilla X Kong at some point this week.
Oh yeah.
I feel bad I haven't watched it yet.
You're gonna love/hate it.
That's what I figure.
Yeah. Did either of you watch the Owen Wilson Paint movie?
No.
No.
All right. As I
don't even know what you're talking about.
It's Owen Wilson doing a Bob Ross sort of impression, and they marketed the hell out of it like 6 months ago. Whenever it came
I remember
streaming.
seeing the trailer and not watching the movie.
So I watched that last night, and it's not good. I watched 4.5 movies yesterday. It was not a good day for me. I just sat around, did nothing. I watched Paint. Then I watched Out of Darkness, which is like a kind of a dumb caveman movie, which is not worth your time.
That's the horror movie one, right?
Yeah. It's kind of just a slasher thing, right? Like they're getting picked off.
Is there no speaking in it? It's like Planet of the Cave Bear kind of.
They talk, but not in English, and it's subtitled. Okay. No Way Up stars Miles O'Brien from Star Trek, and he's like a security guard for a bunch of spoiled kids. And then their airplane crashes in the ocean and sinks, and then they're all stuck in an airplane at the bottom of the ocean with a little air bubble.
It's like Poseidon Adventure, but in a plane.
Yeah. And then they all have to figure out how to get out back to the surface while sharks are eating them. It's not good. And Wicked Little Letters is actually quite good. It's like a 1920s Britain thing where one of the women is getting offensive letters sent in the mail. And they have to track down who it is, and there's all sorts of sexism and shenaniganery, and everybody is
in the
super
1920s.
Yeah, sexism. I know it's weird, right? And it was in London or in Britain, so like I thought they had solved that by then.
Sure.
I also started watching, and I had to stop because I ran out of day. But I'm like halfway through rewatching 12 Monkeys, and I gotta say, man, that movie is awesome.
I love that movie.
That was a great movie.
I haven't watched it in 20 years.
Even the TV show wasn't terrible. I mean, it was good.
No, I haven't watched it in 20 years. And like just the Terry Gilliamness of it is so good. So good. So good. And I finished Clarkson's Farm. I finished that. It's a really solid show. There was also a story.
I've been enjoying Extraordinary. That's been fun. What was there a story about? I'm sorry.
There was dang it, I lost it. There was the Fallout TV show. I just saw it set a record. It was on Amazon Prime, and it was the first show that was not a Netflix show to do 2 billion minutes watched for 2 weeks in a row. Apparently no other show, like that's a big metric that they use now. And it was the first it was the first time that anybody besides Netflix had achieved that threshold. So apparently the Fallout show, it's a hit, guys. We're getting
Great.
That's
Give me a
awesome.
season 2.
like right
Give me
now,
a season
please.
2. I think they already approved a season 2. They
Yeah,
must
they
have.
did.
They did.
They did.
I want it.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to
No,
get off
I've
our
been
chests?
replaying Fallout 3. You know,
I've been meaning to play
funny. A
Fallout.
friend was playing Fallout 4, and I was like, "You should really play Fallout 3. Fallout 4 is not very good."
Have they done like any remastering or anything of that one? Like,
They
Um,
added a whole bunch of new stuff. Fallout 4.
yeah, I know they DLC'd Fallout 4, but
yeah, and then they have a VR version of Fallout 4, so that's kind of
Oh,
neat.
really?
Yeah,
if you want to play Fallout 4 and barf,
it's not that bad. I've been messing around with Raspberry Pi Pico W's. Hold on a sec.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now Chris is gone. He fell out of his cupola.
You can see a little bit of them yet.
Oh,
There
he's
we go.
back.
So there's something called a Pi Sugar, and basically it's like a little thing you put on the bottom, and it gives you an ups, basically
Nice.
on a Pico W. So I'm messing around with that. It's
So
pretty
that's
fun.
for your KVM.
No, this is actually for the ups monitoring Picos that I have distributed around the network.
Gotcha.
So yeah, because what I really want to do is have one of these with a cellular modem and this battery, basically able to watch the network even after a power outage, which happened yesterday. It's like it's showing me my imbalance of batteries per device, so that's all.
Yeah, your power grid is like as good as mine or something.
No, it's actually really quite good at the house. At the office,
Not so
sometimes it'll
much.
go out for like 2-3 hours, and it's like, ugh. So like I have to have enough battery on the switch, the other switch,
Yeah.
the production machine to last 3 hours. If I have that,
3 hours. Oof.
well, it's actually not that hard. I've got like this massive, it's like a 2200 APC rack mounted ups.
How many watts are you pulling out of that whole thing, though?
Well, I can tell you because I switched to a power sensing circuit. So I'm not pulling that many watts, but when US West 3, Rob, is fully loaded down, it pulls like, I don't know, 250 watts.
That's
That
not
machine, maybe less, maybe more. But then the switch that it's attached to, the switch that is attached to, the switch to the house, and then I convinced Steve, who provides the network bandwidth, to let me drop a monitor on the ups on the ONT. So I'm like, okay, I'm watching
monitors all the way down.
Yeah. And then there's that part of me, I'm like, just go buy another machine at a cloud provider, but I won't go there.
Right? That feels like quitter talk.
That's quitter talk.
I really want to. I kind of wish I would host things in my house, but I'm deathly afraid of the security implications of hosting something in my house. I do not need that. And I'm also not so sure that my children are the most secure. Like, I keep thinking maybe I should isolate their computers onto like their own subnet, just the two of them.
Yeah.
There's a bad zone for you. This is where the packets go to die. Do we have anything else, gents?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Then let's say goodbye to Chris Bona.
Bye.
Bye to Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
That was episode 839 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Taco Malda. We'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.